Some people forget what their life was like in high school. For some, they block it out. For others, it was just a blur to begin with. And for some, it just fades over time. But me, I can never forget. I can't. That's Ronnie. She's the kindest person I've ever met. I just didn't know it yet.
I'm sorry. I really should pay more attention.
Who even reads books anyways?
I like to read sometimes.
You better watch yourself. Books won't help you when it comes to the real world.
Jess, she didn't mean to. Leah, we've been over this. If somebody messes with Jess, they mess with all of us. Even if we think Jess is wrong.
Sarah, are you saying I'm wrong?
No, of course not. I was just saying that if...
I guess I better head to class. I'll see you later, Duke. That's Duke, my jerk of a boyfriend. I shouldn't have put up with him for as long as I did, but I was just following the rules. You know, like in the chick flick movies. The queen bee dates the school's hottest guy. Or so I thought. It just took me too long to realize that wasn't the way it had to be.
Hey, how about you come by my place later and we'll watch a movie or something?
I can't. But maybe next week.
Come on.
Duke, I really don't want to.
I don't get it. I'm your boyfriend. Yours. I could have anyone else in this school, but I chose you. And you don't even want anything to do with me. I bet Sarah would love to watch a movie with me.
I'll see you later.
Wait.
I'm gonna be late. So, this is my high school. Everybody worshipped me. But, to be honest, I didn't really have any friends outside of school. Actually, I didn't really have any friends inside of school either. Just people that were too scared to be my enemy. But everybody would have killed to be me. But at home, it was a different story. That's my dad, Derrik. We used to be one big happy family until my mom passed away 2 years ago. Since then, my dad is taking to drinking as soon as the sun comes up in the morning. I try to tell him that Mom would have wanted him to be happy and to have fun. But when I do, he just ends up hitting me. I'm better off just not saying anything. Dad, I had a good day at school.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Mom...
What?
It's just that she...
Oh, for Christ's sake, Jess. Can't you finish a sentence?
But I...
You're going to tell me to stop drinking again, weren't you? How Mom wouldn't like to see me wasting away like this again, weren't you?
So, this is my life. Day in and day out. It's school, Dad, Duke, school, Dad, Duke. It's been like this for almost 2 years now. I'm used to it by now, but it could still be hard.
Oh, come on. I didn't even hit you that hard.
Why do you do that?
What?
Why do you drink so much and then get so angry with me?
Speak up, Jess. I can't hear you.
Why is it that all you do is drink and waste your life away, and then when I try to help you, all you do is hit me? It hurts me, Dad. Not so much you hitting me, but seeing you so broken. You're not even remotely the same person anymore. I miss you, Dad.
Will you listen to me, you ungrateful little brat? I am your father. I will not have you talk to me that way. I am still the same man I was before. I don't plan on changing. And if you don't like it, you can go live somewhere else. Oh, you ungrateful little brat!
Mark, it's not fair that you always get home so quick.
I told you to get your license already so you didn't have to take the bus home.
I don't see why you can't just give me a ride home after school.
I'm not going to wait around for another half hour to wait for you to finish tutoring that junior high kid.
Mom,
Mm-hmm.
when does Dad get home from work today?
Well, today he's working a little later, so probably not until about 9:30. How was school today?
It was good. I made a 95 on my chemistry quiz.
Oh, that's wonderful. I told you you had nothing to worry about. Science just comes naturally to you. You must get that from your father. I'm not really good at science or math or anything. Oh, history.
Ugh, history is so boring, Mom. We learn about the same stuff every year.
Well, I liked it.
I think I'm gonna go read for a little while.
Okay, just be home for dinner. I'm making meatloaf.
Okay.
Ugh, Mom, you always make meatloaf.
You love my meatloaf.
I love Grandma's meatloaf.
What are you doing?
Oh, I was building a tire swing for my little cousin. She's coming over in a few weeks, and I thought it'd be a nice surprise.
Where's the tire?
Oh, the tire. Well, I forgot the tire.
Well, I'll help you make it. Let's go get the tire.
Okay. So that night, Ronnie and I built a tire swing. She walked back with me to the house, and we grabbed an old tire from the garage and rolled it back, and, well, we put together a swing. We talked about the most random things, from her favorite food, favorite places, and even just favorite TV shows. It was strange. I never understood how she could be so kind to me after all the trouble I put her through. It was like, for the first time, I had a real friend. not just somebody to kiss up to me, but she saw me as a person, just like everyone else. We laughed and she told me about her family, her lighthearted and hardworking mother, and her sweet and funny but annoying older brother, and her dad. He was a vet at a local animal clinic, and they even had a little German shepherd named Roxy, who was hyper but sweet. In my eyes, her life was perfect, and I was jealous. But she saved my life that night, just by building a tire swing, a swing that I didn't want or even need. But she saved my life. Gee, your family sounds great. I wish mine was like that.
Well, what is your family like?
Well, we used to be like that. Sorta. Except I don't have any siblings. And my mom, she's great. We would go shopping together, and then we'd go eat lunch somewhere fun. And she always kept a pair of scissors in her car. That way we would cut the price tags off so my dad wouldn't see. But then she died 2 years ago from a heart attack. And since then, all my dad does is drink.
I'm so sorry. That must be so hard for you.
I get along, but yeah, it can be hard sometimes.
It's getting late. I really should be getting home.
I'll see you around school, I guess?
Why don't you meet me back here tomorrow? I'll bring my brother, that way you can meet him too.
Sure, that sounds great. Ronnie?
Yeah?
Thank you
What for?
for helping me. Build the tire swing and everything.
Oh, anytime.
Why is it you're dragging me out here again?
I want to introduce you to my friend Jess.
Ugh, you're always introducing me to your friends. Do you have a friend you haven't introduced me to? I mean, seriously. It gets kind of annoying at times. Who is this Jess girl anyway? Is she another one of your theater friends? Theater people are the weirdest people. I mean, who wants to sit in seats that are all jammed together and watch people pretend to be someone they're not? When is this Jess girl gonna get here anyway? That's Jess Black.
Yeah.
Jess Black is your friend.
Yes.
I'm pleased to meet you, Miss Black.
Oh, the pleasure is all mine. And please, call me Jess.
That was a little much, wasn't it?
Just a little.
Sorry.
Hey, Jess, do you want to come over for dinner? My dad's going to be home.
Oh, I'd love to, but I gotta cook dinner for my dad tonight.
Well, he can come over too.
Well, I promised I'd make him something special to make up for the fight we had last night.
All right. Some other time, maybe? Oh, I almost forgot. Jess, this is Mark. Mark, this is Jess. Although, I guess you guys already got that far.
Ronnie's told me a few things about you.
Don't listen to a word she says. It's all a lie. Ronnie just wants to ruin my chances of having a girlfriend. I mean, friend. That's a girl.
It's okay. She didn't say anything bad about you.
Really?
Nah. I said you were annoying.
Well, are we gonna sit here and talk all day, or are we gonna do something?
Sitting and talking is doing something, smart one.
I mean, are we gonna play a game, smartass?
Well, what do you want to play?
Hide and
Charades.
Charades!
Hide and seek.
Charade sounds good.
I'll go first.
Dancing.
This is gonna
Like
be
really,
stupid
really
idea.
bad dancing.
Swing!
You're good. She got it.
Oh my god, like
Kung
Cayden!
Fu?
Alright, go, come on. Oh. See, I told you it was fine.
Yeah.
Ready, watch this, ready? Woo!
It's getting kind of late. I should be heading home now.
Well, meet you back here tomorrow?
Yeah. I'll see you around school, I guess.
Yeah. So, what do you think?
She's pretty. Pretty cool, I guess.
Uh-huh. Sure. Good luck. She's dating Duke, remember?
Right.
So that's how my life finally began. Ronnie and I would go sit under the tree whenever we could. Mark would sometimes come with us, but most of the time it was just me and Ronnie. And we would talk about everything from the past, the present, or even the future. It was like I felt at home there. And for a moment, I didn't have to worry about anything. School, or Duke, or even my dad. And it was like it was just me and a friend. No, scratch that. It was me and my best friend. Ronnie had other friends too, she just kept them outside of school.
I met them doing community theater.
Ronnie, that's a little nerdy.
In case you've forgotten, I'm a nerd, Jess.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I thought it was dumb at first, too.
So, why'd you do it?
Jess, sometimes you just have to try things, even if you think it's stupid.
Well, I know that, but...
Well, I tried theater, and I really liked it. I like it because it's a place where you can be yourself. Or you can be someone else for a while.
But what about your reputation? What about what everybody thinks of you?
I'm not you, Jess. I don't have a reputation. I don't have any friends in school, so why should I care what people who already don't like me think?
Well, that's really smart.
In case you've forgotten, I'm a nerd, Jess.
Yeah. How do you do it? You're so real. And everyone is so, So how do you stay so happy and positive? If I were you, I could never be that optimistic. So, how do you do it?
I do get, sad. A lot. And sometimes I feel like life can't get any worse. I mean, I know it can, but I don't know. I try not to bore people with my problems, but when you bottle it all up, it really hurts. Even when it's just the little things. But whenever I get that way, whenever I feel hopeless, I just think, someday.
Someday, what?
I don't know. But someday something has to happen, doesn't it? You have to have something to look forward to in life. Someday something will happen. Something exciting. It has to. You have to get rewarded sometime in your life, or else why are we even here? I try to stay positive so that something is a good something. Maybe I'll have a job I really love, or maybe I'll make some great friends, or maybe, I don't know. But someday I will know And when I look to the stars, I remember that God has a plan for me. For all of us. And all this crap about cliques and nerds and how many friends you have. It's not gonna matter. It'll be a speck in a world of good. Someday. I'm sorry. I know it's annoying when I rant. I'll stop.
You should write a book.
Oh yeah. With all the knowledge and wisdom my high school mind possesses, no one would read it.
Well, I'd read it.
Thank you.
So, what do you want to be anyway?
What?
You know, just like you said, your dream job. What do you want to be?
Oh, I don't know. What do you want to be?
I want to be rich and famous. Famous designer, perhaps. But I'd sell it for something else, like a famous singer.
But will you be happy?
What?
You can get all the fame and riches and glory. I don't doubt that for a second. But none of that matters if you're not happy.
Well, you think if I'm, you know, rich enough, I think I'll be happy.
Are you sure?
Well, look at you. You don't even know what you want to be. It's the smarty pants.
Maybe you're right.
So, what about the rest of it?
Huh?
Well, you may not know what you want to do, but what about the rest of it? You know, house, you know, stuff like that.
My dream is to live in a little cabin, somewhere natural. Maybe a little beach I could walk on, or a forest I could hike in and explore. And I wouldn't be alone. I would live with the man of my dreams, and we'd have 2 little kids, a boy and a girl. And we'd live in this little cottage together, a big, happy family. That's all I've ever really wanted, is to be happy.
That night, Ronnie made me think about life. Harder than I ever had before. I had all these new ideas swirling in my head. And that I didn't have to be rich and famous or even have all the glory. Just to be happy. And in that moment, I forgot about all the pain and heartache I had at home. But that all changed when I walked in the door.
Hey, come here.
Why? What's up?
I just want to talk to you a minute. Now, why is it at the moment you get home, you run off to that stupid tree? Huh? Too good to hang out with your old man?
No, of course not. I just really enjoyed hanging out with Ronnie.
What? More than your own father?
No! He hit me again.
I'm so sorry. That's awful.
Can I come live with you?
Jess,
Please, Ronnie, I can't take this anymore.
Of course you can come live with us.
Can I come over tonight? I can pack a bag and I can sneak past my dad. Please.
Please be careful. I'll explain everything to my parents on your way over.
Thank you. So, I went to go live with Ronnie. Her parents called CPS and my dad lost custody of me pretty quickly. It was hard, but it was the right thing to do. I stayed with Ronnie for a while and her family was exceptionally kind to me. Eventually, I was told I had an aunt I was to live with. Apparently, my dad had a little sister I never knew about. And lucky for me, she only lived about 20 minutes away. So, every weekend I would drive down to Ronnie's and we would go sit under the tree. I know, it sounds silly to go back just a few minutes away from my old house and abusive dad, but there was just something about that tree. I went to the same school and life went on.
Jess, please don't.
Oh, and Sarah, stop pushing Leah around.
Thank you. And thank you for giving her book back.
And thank you for always standing up for her. I should have listened to you in the first place.
What was that about?
What?
That thing with that Ronnie chick back there.
Nothing.
You've been awful nice to her this year. It's starting to make you look like
Like what? She's my friend.
You don't need to be friends with people like her.
What do you mean, people like her?
You know, she's lame.
Have you ever talked to her?
No, I don't plan to.
Then why do you judge her?
Listen, stop hanging out with her. I can't date the friend of a complete wannabe. Oh, and stay away from that brother of hers too. He's all over you.
Then we're through.
What?
If you can't date me because I'm friends with them, then we're through.
That's ridiculous.
Now you listen here, and you listen good. I don't need you. Or Sarah, or any of them. But Ronnie, I need her. She has changed my life in more ways in the past year than you could ever imagine. So if you think for 1 second that I'm going to pick you over Ronnie, it'd be her. Any day. Goodbye, Duke. Oh, and one more thing. Mark, he's more of a man than you'll ever be. Goodbye, Duke. Ronnie, I want you to know, that first night at the tree, I wasn't really going to make a tire swing. I
know.
Then why'd you go along?
I could tell that you were lost and lonely. I couldn't just leave you. I thought that maybe if I showed you some kindness and helped you build the tire swing and talked to you about what was bothering you, then maybe, just maybe you wouldn't be so lost and lonely.
Well, thank you.
Of course.
You know, I like to think that my mom is one of those stars up there, shining bright as her smile used to be.
You loved your mother very much, didn't you?
More than anything. I was so scared when I lost her, and it made me scared that I was going to lose my dad, too. I guess I did, in a way. But have you ever been scared of losing someone you love?
How's your aunt? Is she nice? You don't talk much about her.
Yeah, she's nice. We don't talk much, though. I think she's still sad about Dad. She's a good cook, though. She cooks dinner almost every night.
That sounds nice. So I heard you and Duke broke up. How did you ever manage to break away from him?
Well, it was hard. I didn't really have the confidence before, but then he started talking bad about you and Mark, and it felt great.
I'll bet. Mark is really happy about it.
Why?
You know why.
Hey, is everything okay? You seem upset.
Do I?
Yeah, like something's bothering you.
No, I'm fine.
Really, you can talk to me.
I said I'm fine. Jess, there's something I need to tell you. I went to the doctor.
tell me?
You had enough on your plate. With your dad and moving in with your aunt, and I didn't want you to worry about me.
But a tumor. Ronnie.
I know. I'm sorry.
Well, what are they going to do? How are they going to treat it? Are they?
I'm going to have a surgery.
When?
A few weeks. But it's going to be okay. We'll get through this. I'll get through this.
At that moment, I didn't know what to say or do. I wanted to help her, but I didn't know how. I wanted to cure her, but I didn't know how. God, I wanted to save her, but I didn't know how.
I keep thinking about my future. About my someday. What if this is it, Jess? What if this is my adventure? I don't get it. I tried so hard to be. It isn't fair. It's not fair that bad people get to live good lives when people who try their hardest to be the best and kindest person they can be get a brain tumor in high school. Bad people get to be rich and famous when good people get the crap end of the stick. It just isn't fair.
You know, an intelligent individual once told me that being rich and famous doesn't make you happy.
How am I supposed to be happy when I have a tumor and a surgery to remove it in 3 weeks?
You distract yourself.
What?
In the next 3 weeks, we're going to have the time of our lives. You and me.
What about school? What about everything?
School can wait.
But Jess, what if it can't? What if I don't go back?
Look, everything's going to be okay. And after your surgery, our lives are going to go back to normal.
What could we possibly do in 3 weeks?
That night, Ronnie and I discussed all the possibilities that we could do. Finally, we decided that it'd be a good idea to take a fun drive to interesting little towns we came across and spend the day there and stay the night at a cheap inn. Ronnie's parents were hesitant on letting her go, but they could see how much she really wanted this. So we both took a day to pack, and then we got in my car.
Is that everything? Actually, there's one more thing.
Who's ready for a vacation?
Mark, I told you we're not going to the beach.
Oh, why not?
Because there's no beaches anywhere near here. Now go and change.
You're so bossy.
Go. Oh my gosh.
Alrighty then.
Is it alright if he comes? It's just that he's my brother and
Of
he...
course he can come.
Thank you so much for all of this.
I know you do the same for me.
I'm scared, Jess.
I know. Everything's going to be okay. Just look at the stars and remember that God has a plan for you.
But Jess, it's daytime.
Did you forget the difference between day and night? The sun is a star too. The moon isn't. And just because the nighttime has billions of stars and then the sun comes out, doesn't mean that the stars disappear. It's just that the sun outshines them all. And that's when I realized Ronnie was sort of like the sun. She lit my way through darkness, and she warmed my heart when it was cold and sad. And most importantly, her kindness outshone everybody else's. I was just scared that nighttime was going to come and she'd be gone.
Now you're starting to sound like a nerd, Jess. Maybe you should be the one writing the book.
Is this better?
Much.
Now that everybody is properly clothed, can we go now?
Oh, just a second. I left something in the house. Be right back. My mom made us cookies for the road.
And so, we left. I drove, and Ronnie sat beside me, and Mark was eating cookies in the back seat. We drove for about 4.5 hours until we finally came to an interesting little town.
Let's get something to eat. I'm starving.
You ate all of the cookies. How are you still hungry?
I don't know.
Must be a guy thing.
Can you please just wait for an hour so we can walk around a little?
But, fine.
So we took an hour to explore this interesting little town. It was full of family-owned businesses and shops. Everybody had these big smiles on their faces and had this bounce in their walk. And everybody knew everybody else's name. It was like they were one big happy family. And when I turned to look at Ronnie, I could tell it made her really happy.
I'm a little hungry. Do you guys want to go looking for a place to eat?
Finally, I thought you'd never ask.
Oh, wait, why don't we ask them?
Excuse me.
Hi, how can we help you?
We're not from around here, and we were wondering where a good place to go and eat was.
My favorite is Mama's Mad Steakhouse. It's just down the road.
Ooh, I could use a good steak right about now.
A steakhouse? Jess, we can't afford that.
Maybe we can't, but my aunt gave me her credit card and she said we could use it for whatever we wanted.
Really?
Yes, now relax. We're here to have some fun. Mama's Mad Steakhouse it is. Thanks, guys.
No problem.
Oh, and you should try the banana cream cabana for dessert. It's pretty good too.
Do they have banana cream pie?
Best in town.
Yes, I love banana cream pie. Banana cream pie. Banana cream pie. I'll stop.
Yeah.
So that night, we ate at Mama's Mad Steakhouse and ate like royalty. Well, Ronnie and I did. Mark didn't eat as much. He said he was saving room for banana cream pie. And after that, we ended up going to the banana cream cabana. And I ended up ordering a banana smoothie. Ronnie got a skillet cookie, and Mark, he got a slice of banana cream pie. After that, we got 2 rooms at a cheap little inn. One for Ronnie and I, and one for Mark. The next day, we set out on our next adventure. It was full of interesting little towns and fun things to do, like visiting nice restaurants, or going to relaxing parks to feed the ducks. Well, Ronnie and I fed the ducks. Mark ended up being chased by all the ducks. And we were all so happy. And that's what matters most, right? 3 weeks came and went. And before we knew it, it was time to go home. And for 3 days, I spent the night at Ronnie's. And most of those days, we just sat underneath that tree and talked.
Don't they just make you feel so small?
What?
The stars. They give you hope and make you happy, but they also make you feel small.
How so?
Well, when you look at all of them, all the stars together, and think about just how many there are, you just... I can't even conceive of what's out there. It really does drive me crazy sometimes, knowing that the human race will never know everything there is to know about the universe. Well, Maybe someday they will, but not in our lifetime. It's so exciting, but so scary at the same time. Do you think it ever ends?
What?
The universe. Do you think it ever ends?
I don't know. I never really thought about it. Do you?
I don't know. That's one of the things that drives me crazy. Everything starts somewhere and stops somewhere. We live in a house, which is in a state, which is in the country. I could go on, but you get the idea. Eventually, if you keep listing things, you get to the universe, which in theory has to end somewhere. But wherever something stops, something else starts. So then, what's beyond what we conceive of to be the universe? There has to be something, right? But what if there isn't? What if everything just ends? It's hard because I know I'm never going to know for sure.
Someday.
Someday.
We had lots of conversations like that over the course of a few days. It seemed like Ronnie wanted to cram in as many of those as she could before her surgery. She was really scared. And I've never seen her as scared as she was the night before her surgery. I was scared too. I just tried not to show it, for her sake.
So, what's on your mind tonight? Okay, I know. That was a stupid question. I'm sorry. Hey! Hey! It's going to be okay.
I'm scared, Jess.
Well, I'd say you were crazy if you weren't.
I'm not so scared about the surgery itself. I'm not really afraid of the death risk either. I'm scared that if I die, I'll never understand why I was here in the first place.
Ronnie, I want you to know that you're the strongest person I've ever met. I can't imagine what you must be feeling right now.
I'm trying not to think about it. I've been trying not to ever since we got back. That's why I keep rambling on about random stuff like the universe.
Well, I like listening to you talk about stuff like that. It makes me think.
I keep looking at things that I would miss if I was gone.
Well, what kind of things?
Simple things, mostly. Things like my mother's meatloaf, or the smell of fresh cut grass. But also some bigger things. My dog. My parents, Mark, you. And this old tree. The entire swing we built that night.
Well, after the surgery, we can come back to this old tree. And everything's gonna be okay.
You can't promise that.
No. But I can hope. I can believe. No. It's more like I can't believe. I can't imagine my life without you in it. And that's enough for me to hold on to right now.
They're professionals. They've done this so many times. They have to know what they're doing, right?
Yeah.
Everything is going to turn out fine.
Ronnie,
Yeah?
thank you.
What for?
For everything. You saved my life that night. And you made me into a better person. Thank you.
No. Thank you.
I didn't do anything.
You listened. You listen to me rant when no one else will. You're a really good friend. And you're a great person. Don't ever forget or change that. And don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
And I never did. And it was all because of Ronnie. That made me like that in the first place. The next day, Mrs. Jole drove us to the hospital. We sat in those uncomfortable chairs for 2 hours before anything happened. I could tell Ronnie was really anxious, but can you blame her? How are you feeling?
Actually, my throat kind of hurts, but thanks for asking.
I meant Ronnie.
Right.
I'm...
Please. It's going to be okay.
I got you something.
If it's a Banana Cream Cabana gift card, I'm going to punch you.
How did you know?
I saw you buy it at the register as we were leaving.
Oh. But that wasn't all of it. I got you something else, too.
You did?
Yeah, here.
You wrapped it yourself, didn't you?
Yeah, sorry about that.
Mark, it's beautiful.
Read the back.
God has a plan.
Are you sure you don't want the gift card?
It's beautiful, Ronnie.
Thank you.
Bye.
Hey. Hey. It's gonna be okay.
You promise?
I can't promise that. But I can't imagine my life without you in it. And that's enough for me to hold on to right now. Is that enough for you?
Ronnie, Birch,
It's
they're ready for me to take you back now. It's gonna be okay, honey.
We love you, sweetie.
Ronnie, wait!
I love you. It's gonna be okay.
I know.
I know. Oh, I'm sorry.
It's alright.
Why didn't you move me?
I didn't want to wake you. Besides, it was kinda cute.
So, college. What's it like?
It's good.
Cool. Gee, it's taking an awful long time, don't you think?
These things often do.
Aren't you even a little worried about her?
Of course I'm worried. She's my little sister.
Then why don't you seem like it?
Because Ronnie is strong. She's always been strong. I try not to worry because I know that Ronnie's a fighter. I know that she can push through this.
But what if she doesn't?
She will.
So, college. Tell me about it.
Why?
Because I'm so anxious right now if I don't have something to distract.
Alright, so college, let's see. It's pretty great actually. There's so many cool clubs and groups to join. I'm in the astronomy club. Everyone there is really nice and accepting. The classes can be hard though, especially the deadlines. But all my teachers are cool.
It sounds great. Too bad I'm still stuck in high school.
You're almost there. Just finish out this year. Dance with me.
What?
Dance with me. You said you needed something to distract you. Dancing will distract you. You might even have a little bit of fun.
But we're in the middle of the hospital. How are we?
That's what cell phones are for. It would be a pleasure if you would dance with me, Miss Black.
Jess, dance with him. It'll be fun.
Pleasure is all mine. And please, call me Jess. Mark and I danced to several more songs until the nurse finally came back in. I wish I could say that everything was fine and that Ronnie would be fit to come home in a few days, but I can't. Something went wrong during the operation, and she was in critical condition. I wanted to go back to see her, but they said only family was allowed to see her. Mark argued that I was family, just not related by blood. Mark went back to see her though, and when he came back, he said that she was pale and unconscious. That was the first time in the few years that I'd known him that I'd ever seen him cry. I wish I could say that she miraculously recovered and there was all some fairy tale ending, but it wasn't until after she passed that I was finally allowed to go back to see her. I ran into her room and sat beside her. Mark was right. She was pale. But this time, she wasn't just unconscious. I held her hand and it was still warm and her eyes were closed, so it looked like she was only sleeping. There was a note on the nightstand next to her bed, in Ronnie's handwriting. So I opened it, and it said, "Dear Jess."
I have a little bit of time left before the surgery. They're never really ready when they say they are. I asked the nurse to bring me a notepad because I wanted to write you something in case I didn't get the chance to tell you myself. I want you to know that this wasn't my adventure. This tumor, this surgery, they weren't my someday. I need you to know something. 2 nights before that night, the night we built the tire swing, I prayed to God for a best friend. For someone who would be with me through the best times of my life and the worst times of my life. 2 days later, he gave me you. You helped me see that people can change, that everyone deserves a second chance. You listened to me rant about the stars. You listened to me rant about my someday. You were my someday, Jess. If you're reading this,
it means I'm gone. I don't know what I'm going to do with it if I make it through the surgery. I'll probably just throw it away. But if you're reading this, know that I'm here with you. I'm here with Mark. Tell my parents I'm here with them too. If you're reading this, it means that I've got another someday. Do you remember when I told you that the stars in the universe drive me crazy because I can never know everything there is to know about them? Well, it doesn't have to drive me crazy anymore. Because by the time you read this, I'll know all the answers to all the questions I've ever had about the universe. About everything. You're going to live a great life, Jess. That's something I can promise you. Follow your heart. Follow your hopes and dreams. They're sure to lead you in the right direction. Don't worry about the fame and riches and glory because they mean nothing if you're not happy. Smell the fresh cut grass for me, Jess. Enjoy my mom's cooking for me. Give everyone in my family a hug for me. Except for Mark. You can hit him. And tell them that I'm going to miss them. Sit in that old tree for me. In the tire swing. And watch for shooting stars. Even if it's just for one more night. I'm probably one of those stars now, Jess. Right up there with your mom, watching over you. And in the daytime, know that I haven't left. Just like you said. I'm just playing hide and seek with the sun. Enjoy the little things in life. Go and explore new places and eat at steakhouses and banana cream cafes. Go and feed the ducks and sit outside on calm, quiet nights. Don't ever change for anyone. For me. Go to college. Get a job you love. Marry the man of your dreams. If you still want to be rich and famous, then do that too. Live wherever you want to live and do whatever you want to do. Just make sure you're happy. Because that's all that really matters, isn't it? And watch really closely for your someday. Because when you're truly happy, it'll come without you even knowing it. Just like it did to me. If you're reading this, I'm not really gone. And someday, I'll see you again. That will be the best someday of them all. Love, Ronnie.
Love, Ronnie. She had this taped to the top of the notepad. God has a plan. I believe she's one of the stars now, like my mom, but not one of the ones at night. I believe she's part of the sun now, the closest star to us. To me. And at night, she's just playing hide and seek with the moon. I did what she asked me. I was happy, but I didn't think it was fair because Ronnie never got to live her dream. So I lived it for her. I went to college and made a few new friends, but none like Ronnie. And I even married the man of my dreams. I married Mark. We had an outside wedding, and the sun was exceptionally bright that day. We moved to a little house on the beach, and we had 2 kids, a boy and a girl. We were one big happy family, and Mark even helped me open my own clothing boutique with clothes I designed. I named it Ronnie's Tree. Every piece of clothing had some little white star on it, and my life was perfect. Ronnie was right. My someday came without me even knowing it.